what happened to the Rascals.
When Joey D and the Starlighters of Peppermint Twist fame persuade Felix Cavalieri to join them on a tour of Europe in 1963, he was a Syracuse University student and playing with a prominent campus band, Felix and the Escorts. Eddie Brigatti and Gene Cornish were among the people that young keyboardists met there. So they quit the Starlighters after a few months and began rehearsing with a drummer buddy, Dino Danelli. The British invasion was in full swing as 1964 went to 1965, and the Beatles, along with the soul R&B sounds common in the New York club scene frequented by the group, now nicknamed the Young Rascals, were a big influence. However, the Beatle link did not end there. After signing on as the group's manager a few months prior, Sid Bernstein, the promoter who brought the Beatles to Shea Stadium, added the Young Rascals to the bill at that legendary concert. According to some reports, Bernstein is to blame for the group's early schoolboy stage outfits. After Atlantic founder Ahmet Ertegun saw the band in a West Hampton nightclub and offered them a contract, the hit records and name recognition came quickly. Given its famed roster of soul performers and producers, Atlantic was the ideal label for this blend of black and white rock. The Rascals' concept was Marvin Gaye singing, Ray Charles piano, Jimmy Smith's organ, Phil Spector's production, and the Beatles' composition, according to Felix Cavalieri. In 1965, a white rock band playing black soul songs was a novel concept for pop. Cavalieri despised the term blue-eyed soul, which was applied to the Rascals' music. Originally, their debut single was supposed to be recorded by a British invasion musician. The band's first Atlantic single, I Ain't Gonna Eat At My Heart Anymore, reached number 52 in the US in 1965, but it was Good Lovin' in 1966 that cemented their status as rock and roll superstars. The song swiftly rose to the top of the Billboard Hot 100 and was certified gold. According to legend, Rascal Felix Cavalieri heard the Olympics recording on a New York City radio station and decided to incorporate it into their concerts, utilizing the same lyrics and arrangement as the Olympics version. Even though the musicians did not think the performance held together well, co-producer Tom Dowd captured this live atmosphere on their 1966 recording. Later that year, they had two more top 20 songs, You Better Run, which reached number 20, and I've Been Lonely Too Long, which reached number 16. The beat of the latter song is based on the Temptations' classic song Ain't Too Proud to Beg, which was released the year before in 1966. Billboard magazine's top 100 singles of 1967 included I've Been Lonely Too Long at number 54. Cavalieri wrote 16 of the band's 18 chart records alone, or in collaboration with frequent collaborator Eddie Brigatti, which was a crucial component of their success. Social criticism began to appear in the music as the songwriting developed. The shift from the Young Rascals to simply the Rascals reflected the group's developing ambition. For legal concerns, the word Young was previously put before the band's name. A group called Johnny Puleo and the Harmonica Rascals appear to have claimed a sole interest. Cavalieri's then-girlfriend was the inspiration for Groovin'. In May 1967, the record was an instant hit, spending 4 weeks at the top of the Billboard Pop Singles list. The 1968 number one song, People Gotta Be Free, was a high point for both Cornish and Cavalieri. It was written in response to the assassinations of Martin Luther King Jr. and Robert F. Kennedy that year. Cavalieri had actually worked for the RFK campaign. Despite initial hostility to the song's political content, it went on to become the Rascals' best-selling single. It was also their final number one hit on the Billboard Hot 100. A Ray of Hope, which reached number 24 in 1968, Heaven, which reached number 39 in 1969, See, which reached number 27 in 1969, and Carry Me Back, which reached number 26 in 1969, were the Rascals' next singles. Hold On, which reached number 81, and Glory Glory, which reached number 71, were two additional 1970 singles that failed to break the top 40, while Love Me, which peaked at number 99 during a one-week stay on the Hot 100 in the summer of 1971, was a terrible washout. Later albums like Peaceful World and The Island of Real, which Cavalieri famously referred to as the best record he ever recorded, were less commercially successful than the group's early garage band soul. The band's new directions were not well received by management, and a transition to the Columbia label in 1971 did not provide them the new life they desired. Personal strife was also on the rise, and Brigatti and Cornish finally left the band. Buzzy Fiden from the Paul Butterfield Blues Band and Ann Sutton, who had sung with different soul and jazz groups in Philadelphia, were brought in to replace them. The Rascals called it quits in 1972. Cavalieri began his solo career in 1974 with the release of Felix Cavalieri. In 1976, Eddie Brigatti released a solo album alongside his brother David. Cornish and Donnelly formed the band Bullfrog and later formed Photomaker with former Raspberries guitarist Wally Bryson. Felix Cavalieri released a solo song titled Only a Lonely Heart Sees in April 1980, which reached number 36 on the Billboard Hot 100. Donnelly joined Steve Van Zandt's Little Steven in 1982. Donnelly, Cornish, and Cavalieri regrouped in 1988 for a U.S. tour with the Rascals, but split up shortly after and became embroiled in a bitter legal battle over the band's name. Cavalieri continued to work as a solo artist and producer, releasing a new album in 1994 and joining Ringo Starr's all-star band on keyboards. The Young Rascals were inducted into the Rock and Roll Hall of Fame in 1997, but conflicts that had previously torn the band apart resurfaced. Eddie Brigatti refused to join the other four former members of the band at the ceremony, instead accepting his medal from Steven Van Zandt of the E Street Band on the opposite side of the stage. After being asked by Steven Van Zandt, all four original Rascals reunited on April 24, 2010, at the Kristen Ann Carr Fund fundraiser in New York. The organization honored Van Zandt and his wife Maureen for their contributions to the fund, which was established in 1993 by Bruce Springsteen's co-manager Barbara Carr and her husband Dave Marsh in memory of their daughter who died of sarcoma. Gene Cornish crushed hopes for a more permanent reunion. Surprisingly, the Rascals' original lineup of Felix Cavalieri, Gene Cornish, Eddie Brigatti, and Dino Donnelly revealed in September 2012 that they will rejoin for the first time in nearly 40 years with Once Upon a Dream, a concert theater show produced by Steven Van Zandt. The show would include news and archival footage of the band in addition to performing some of their hits live. A string of engagements began December of that year and continued until 2013, with Broadway shows in April. The Richard Rodgers Theater in New York City had added 15 additional shows from April 15th through May 5th of 2013. Once Upon a Dream was revealed to be going on the road near the end of its Broadway run, with engagements planned across North America from May to December 2013. The show was scheduled to return to Broadway for a second 3-week engagement after that tour bill was eventually canceled. Felix Cavalieri started touring with his own band and had a few performances scheduled for 2017. In 2015, 16, and 17, Eddie Brigatti, Dino Donnelly, and Gene Cornish all made separate appearances, either alone or at other artists' gigs. On March 3, 2017, during one of Billy Joel's monthly concerts at Madison Square Garden, he brought Felix Cavalieri and Gene Cornish on stage for a brief reunion. Cavalieri reprised his renowned Hammond B3 organ solo as the couple sang their biggest song, Good Lovin'. They plan to collaborate again in 2018. Unfortunately, Gene Cornish fainted on stage during one of those gigs in Billings, Montana on September 7th. He was cleared to perform again in October after undergoing medical attention. Popwell died on November 27, 2017 at the age of 66 in Lebanon, Tennessee. His wife and 3 children survived him. In 2019, Cavalieri was honored by the Musicians Hall of Fame and Museum. And as of May 2022, the rest of the former Rascals are still alive and well. And that's what happened to the Rascals. Thank you for watching. Like and subscribe if you haven't already, and let me know. Give me your favorite Rascals song, or give me a memory you have with them, whether you saw them live in concert, you personally knew one of the band members or met them, just anything. And here are some of my favorite Rascals songs on screen. Thanks again for watching, and I'll see you in the next video.